What's your evaluation process? How do you choose from among the ideas that are submitted to you? I'm a little more formal in my evaluation process. I like using a two-phase process. The first phase is subjective, the second phase is objective. Typically, when I run ideation sessions and collect ideas, we generate 100 ideas on target. The first goal, of course, is we have to set the target. So we ask people to evaluate against the target that was predefined. It's not just what ideas you think is cool. Here's the targets we're trying to hit. We take each of the ideas and we put them on idea sheets. And we lay the idea sheets out on conference tables or tape them to the walls, whatever happens to work. And we give people an equal number of colored dots or poker chips or pennies or Lego bricks, something they can use to vote. The goal is, the rules are, you can put one vote per idea, you can put several votes per idea, you can bet the farm, as the saying goes, and put all your votes on one idea if you believe that is the only idea capable of achieving the desired outcome. We're always focused on that outcome. We let people loose and we flitter around the room. That's why this is called the butterfly test. I didn't make up the name. Bill Moderidge made up the name because of the people flittering. What happens every time I've done this is that you start with 100 ideas and somewhere between 4 and 8 ideas always get the most votes. Once we get those 8, we give them further evaluation. But let's talk about a more advanced version. Instead of using dots or poker chips or pennies, I like using fake money to get real results. So I give people fake $100 bills, $1,000 bills, depends on the budget we're doing. And I ask them not what are you going to vote on, but where are you going to invest your money? Where are you going to invest to get the best return on your investment? If we use dots or Lego bricks, it takes about 20 minutes to sort through 100 ideas. It's fun, it's exciting. We can sort through them pretty quickly. If we use fake money, it usually takes a little longer. It takes about a half an hour to do the sorting instead of 20 minutes. People just tend to be more contemplative. They tend to think more about what's going on before they lay down their bucks. The other advantage of using the wisdom of the crowd to do this is that we're also starting to get buy-in. If people are voting for an idea or investing in an idea, they are much more likely to buy into that idea if we choose to implement it. Once we get the handful of ideas, somewhere between 4 and 8, then we switch to the objective evaluation, and that's where we bring in more experts, people who can run numbers. So when we do an objective evaluation, we decide what filters we're going to use. Each initiative may have a different set of criteria, but they're typically in 3 categories. The first question we ask is, what's the strategic value? And typically we give a 1 to 10 rating on that. How well does this align with our strategic business goals, our strategic go-to-market goals? Different ideas may have different capabilities with the strategy. Then we look at their customer value. How well aligned is this with the customer's desired outcome? How desirable will this idea be to the customer? Again, typically a 1 to 10 rating, 10 being best, 1 being low. The third question, or the third set, is the most difficult. This is the business value. And this is absolutely specific to each and every initiative, because your initiatives may have different goals they're trying to accomplish. So maybe we're asking the projected market potential. Maybe we're looking at the targeted profit margin. Maybe we're looking at the targeted growth rate, projected ROI. Maybe it's time to market, cost to market. Maybe it's capital requirements. Amir, I think you brought this up earlier about, product development looks like this is way too expensive. Well, if it requires a lot of capital requirements to bring to market, that's going to have a much lower rating than another idea that may have much lower capital requirements. Maybe we're looking at the effort or risk or sustainability. It depends on what is appropriate for your criteria. Now, Rob told you I started a dozen companies. There are 2 companies that I thought of that I didn't start. One of those companies I didn't start because the capital requirements were excessive. It would have taken $20 million in capital to launch that company. I don't have $20 million, and my investment criteria is I will not start a company if I can't control it. So if I have to go get outside money and they would get the majority of the shares and I could be fired, then it's not worth it to me to start the company. So I never started that company. Now that idea was back in 1996. It would have taken $20 million then. I could launch that company today for about $500. Technology has advanced so much that we wouldn't need all the stuff we would have needed, oh so long ago. Now the process I just laid out, the two-phase objective, subjective then objective, that's a full-blown evaluation process. This is for new products, new services, new businesses. This is for strategic initiatives. If you're talking about tactical decisions, maybe incremental improvements, you don't need to go through this much formality. You can probably do with a number of people, sitting around having a conversation to decide.